Hello, hello, beautiful YouTube fam. I got a card for you. All right, so check this out. This is really cool. I asked my son to pick a card for us. I'm actually in his room right now, and he's 7, and he has Spider-Man and the whole crew on his wall. And I asked him to pull a card for us, and look who he pulled, Spider-Woman. So this has a beautiful message with regard to the 3 cards I pulled for us as well. Spider-Woman is about co-creation. So think about a web, right? This beautiful web of life, this beautiful co-creation with one another and with source. And this message is about the fact that we are all connected. There is no separation. And so it's so important in our relationships to realize that our triggers are our treasures. And those who trigger us the most teach us the most. So our most difficult relationships are the ones that teach us the most, as long as we're willing to learn the lesson, as long as we're willing to be open to the growth, because we chose this. I always remind myself when I'm in a difficult situation that I chose this. I chose these big lessons. Okay, so I've got 3 cards here. I've got the 8 of Swords, the 6 of Swords. Really, I'm gonna have to figure out something besides this ring light. Okay, and the High Priestess. So I want you to first of all appreciate the progression here. What I've learned is that when you're looking at tarot, you're looking at the relationship between what have you pulled? Is there more than one? I've got 2 swords. Swords are about the mind, right? Swords are about the mind. And look at the progression of these cards. I pulled the 8 first, which is right here. You see this beautiful swan is stuck in the bramble bushes. She's stuck in the thorn bushes, and she's resisting. The more she resists, the more she gets stuck. So the 8 of Swords, again, swords are about the mind. The 8 is about progress, is about movement, okay? But this card is showing us that the movement isn't necessarily about efforting and physical movement, getting things done, because that creates resistance if you don't do it from an aligned space. What this progress speaks of in this card, this 8 of Swords, is a relaxing into it, a surrendering, a ceasing of overthinking. And that's when the forward motion will occur. And so as this swan stops struggling and focuses on this hummingbird, this divine hummingbird, this is a symbol of divinity and higher perspective. There's a veil back here. Do you see this cape? That's actually a man's head up there in the middle. And his cape, this veil, the veil is very thin right now. This veil is blocking what's on the other side, which is light. You can see a line of light up there. And so if this swan will cease to overthink and relax and silence and focus on the divine, which is represented by the hummingbird, she will be guided to the other side of the veil. She will be guided to true divine guidance and knowing and understanding. But she must first surrender and relax into it. Now, look at this change. Look at the shift from down here to here. Once the surrender occurs, then she's on the back of the beautiful swan. The swan is flying now. The swan is flying. You can see this is, looks like a child sleeping, curled up in the fetal position, flying up toward the sun. This is the 6 of Swords. And so the 6 represents communication and like equilibrium. And so you can see these crows down here. The crows are talking. Their mouths are open, some of them. But she's asleep. She's so surrendered and so trusting that the outside world is not affecting her. And this is like a dawning, right? You have the darkness down here. The sun is coming up. It's almost daylight. Just surrender. You're almost there. And then boom, look at this. the High Priestess, Major Arcana. She's soaring. This is like the ultimate co-creation, which is cool because we've got co-creation right here, right? Ultimate co-creation, like intuition card. And so she's no longer on the back of the divine. She's soaring above the divine. We know there's no hierarchy, but she's soaring above the divine and she's co-creating. So we go from ground to on the back of to soaring. Tell me that's not a beautiful transition. Isn't that a beautiful message? So the overall message here is you are on your way to co-creation. You're on your way to intentional co-creation with the divine. But your first step is to get out of your head and relax and surrender into it and allow yourself to be guided by the divine. Keep your eye on the divine. Slow down thought. Go inward, silence, so that you can connect and see beyond the veil. Once you do that, you plant yourself on the back of the divine. Rest in it. Rest in it. Oh, it's been a long, hard path, hasn't it? It's time to rest in it so that you cannot be fooled by all of this chatter going on outside of you in the 3D world. And then once you rest in it and ride on the back of the divine and surrender and just be still and be there, boom, here you are co-creating. Here you are soaring with the divine. Ultimate co-creation right here. Intuition fully activated. High Priestess. Beautiful energy. Beautiful energy. So those are our cards. 8 of Swords, 6 of Swords, and the Priestess, the High Priestess. And then we've got co-creation with Spider Woman. And these two are very much in alignment with one another. So get out of your head. Slow your thoughts down. Go into meditation. Get a meditation on my channel. I've got lots of meditations here for you. And boom, there you are. So thank you for joining me. I would so appreciate you. I appreciate you anyway, but I would extra appreciate you if you would like and subscribe. When you like this channel, you are, first of all, connecting to me energetically so that these messages are more meaningful and connected to you. And then you're also showing this video to someone who would otherwise not see it. And that's super helpful to all of us. Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful evening, morning, whatever it is for you. I love you so much. Bye-bye.